Hi. Hello. Today I'm gonna go through, I guess, the plants in my living room. I'm really new to plants. I don't really know what I'm doing. I have a bunch of pothos. I don't know the difference to all of them. So I'm just gonna tell you guys today what I've been doing to keep my plants alive. I don't have a green thumb. Literally, this is like how to take care of plants for idiots, because it's a miracle that mine are alive. Some of them are doing okay, some of them are thriving. I don't know a whole lot about them, but I'll show you what I do and how I've been taking care of them. And all of you real plant people are probably cringing, but they're alive, they have babies. What are you gonna do, right? Anyone who wants to start doing plants or have a house plant or whatever, who feels like they don't know what they're doing, I have the easiest solution for you ever. And that is a moisture meter. That's this thing. Literally, it says on the back, directions, insert probe tip to root level, always clean tip after use. Anyway, I've already checked these plants today. This is my son's pothos. I believe this is just a jade, and this looks like a pearls and jade, I think. I'm pretty sure. Marble queen? I don't know. I get pearls and jade and marble queens mixed up. I'm sorry. So anyway, you literally just take your little guy down to the roots and see, that's where it's at. My pothos, I like to water them when they get to dry. Just because, I don't know, I've learned that if I let them dry and then I water them, it keeps them from getting root rot. And that's where I produce the most babies. This is my prized possession. This guy right here, see him? This is my arrowhead. I love it so, so much. It was teeny tiny when I first got it. My mom gave it to me and it was so small. And as you can see now, I can't even like get it in a frame because it's so big. It's kind of lopsided, it's kind of weird. This leaf right here is dying. But you know, weirdly enough, there are so many babies. There's a baby right here. There's babies down here. And literally the same thing. So these plants like to pretty much dry out in between waterings. I keep the arrowheads a little bit more moist than I keep these pothos over here. Literally, if you don't know what you're doing with plants, get a pothos. Get a pothos because they're pretty much impossible to kill. I've yet to kill one, and I used to kill everything. So these two pothos I've had for I guess a year now. These are probably my oldest plants, which is funny because they're not even that long, but I've taken a lot of cuttings from them. Same thing, just stick it down to the root. This guy's good. Actually, honestly, I'd still wait to water him until he's like dry. They're kind of all in the same place. You can tell I watered these at all about the same time. But I took cuttings, and another thing is, if you want your plants to get super big and viney, take cuttings. Take cuttings from your plant because that promotes growth. Like I just cut off this one not that long ago, and look at this baby right here. And then up here, I have my birthday pothos that I got last year for my birthday. My goal is, I guess, to string it all the way across till it gets to the other plants. That wasn't my original intention, but this thing's growing like crazy. And it goes all the way up here, all the way over here, all the way down here. And then over here, I took off cuttings pretty recently. And as you can see, this guy's getting babies. And he has like two sprouted off areas. Because if you take cuttings, it promotes growth in other places. We have my other pothos. And again, it's coming down, getting babies everywhere. You need to cut off all the leaves that are yellow and dying. Because I don't know, my mom told me to, and I know it's bad for them. But this guy's huge. This is all one plant. Look at this, all one plant. All this, one plant. And again, with the babies everywhere. And then these are all my baby pothos that I'm working on. Yeah, they're all pretty new. This one is one that I actually just put together from. Okay, and then over here on this plant stand, this one's kind of a mess. So first I have another pothos. This is my croton. He probably definitely needs to be watered. Okay, so I'm gonna put all the plants I have to water over here so I can do it all at once. So there's my croton, I'm gonna water him. This guy right here, let's see if I can take him down without hurting him, is my money tree. He's doing okay. He was really, really small when I got him, so this is actually really good for, and he's still wet, so we're good. This guy, okay, so this pothos is huge. He's huge. So it's in rough shape because I got him for like $9. And so I've been trying to like nurse him back to health. But if you see, some of these leaves are gigantic, and I wish I could get all of them to be this big. But honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing, so realistically, I'm just trying to keep them alive. And then I have this weird dead spot right here. I think it's because it was wrapped around like this. And so I think that this wasn't getting enough light or something, so I need to take off all of these yellow guys. If anybody knows why I have huge leaves on the same plant that I have the world's tiniest leaves, like, let me know. This is the first plant that I've ever like saw and had to have. It is a watch chain, and I love it. I don't know why I love it. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but it's super easy to keep alive because it's a succulent. So I literally put all my succulent type plants in this windowsill right here because they get the best light and they love it. Like, they are thriving. Other than this, I couldn't keep succulents alive to save my life. This one, I have no idea what this guy is, but it's obviously growing super weird. And this is from my baby shower. It was just like a cute succulent we had, and you could see all this new growth where the roots turn from this brownish color, or the stems turn from this brownish color to this light green. Yeah, I've grown this thing like crazy. And it's a miracle because I don't even know what it is. But it's so happy, and it has so many babies, and look at it. It's like taking over this window. And then over here, my husband bought me just this tiny little cactus guy. He's real fuzzy, and I like him, and I've only watered him once since I've had him, and he's doing great. So there's that. This is one of my favorite plants. This is a Thanksgiving cactus. It's a cutting from my grandpa's plant that my mom gave me, and I love it so much. Focus. When I first got it, it was teeny. It was so small, and it was really, really hard to grow. I like it because it looks weird. See that baby? See that baby right there? Like, that's the little baby guy. That's awesome. I don't like to have any of these touching the window because I've learned that it kind of burns them a little bit. So I just turn them so that none of them are touching the window. And that's why I think most of them are growing away from the window, just so they don't get damaged or whatever. This is my sister's Thanksgiving cactus that I'm actually taking care of. I'm trying to grow some babies for her. But this is the size, if not smaller, this is the size that this one was when I first got it. I love it. This is another plant that I am obsessed with right now. This is my string of bananas. So I had killed off all of it except for one strand, and that's this long strand right here. And so my mom brought back more cuttings, and now that it's in this window, it's loving life and it has babies everywhere. And I can't wait because these are the ones that grow down, and so I thought it would be so pretty in this window because eventually it's just going to be all hanging down. And that would be so pretty. I also want a string of pearls and a string of hearts to put next to it. This is the same kind of concept. It's just like one of those hangy plants because I think that would be beautiful. And then over here is my weird succulents. Here is my bear's paw. It's actually my mom's that I'm just keeping alive while she's out of town. You see, it has so many babies. Right there, right there. Let me turn it. Right there. Like, this guy's doing amazing, and it's growing. All that big sticky uppy guy is new growth. So I love this. I just water it when it's dry. I know succulents you're supposed to let dry out more, but this one is just, they're so teeny that I feel like they get dry every single day. These ones, my mom's watch chain, I'm taking care of that too. This one's mine. This is a Calancho Melody. I like it. It's cute. It has babies. This guy's doing pretty well too. I don't like this as much as I like the bear's paw, surprisingly. But this is supposed to be dormant, so I have no idea why they're still growing, but I'm not fighting it. This, I believe, is a baby aloe, is what my mom said. And when I first got it, let me put it down. Okay, and when I first got it, it didn't even have any of this right here. So I grew all that. Super easy. I just water it whenever it seems really, really dry. And it's happy, and it's growing so well in this windowsill. So these are my little succulents. I've never been able to keep succulents alive in my life. So my biggest tip of advice would be find a place that your plant loves and leave them there. Don't mess with it, don't touch it, just water it. Here's some more string of bananas cuttings my mom brought. These are for my son and my brother. So Ethan's gonna try and get these growing too because he's getting on the plant bandwagon. I know I showed these last time in my video, but these are just my all of my propagations, and I have these arrowheads right here that I'm propagating. This guy is my arrowhead, and he needs to be replanted so bad, but I haven't had time. And then this is my philodendron, and I believe I have more pothos right here. This used to be the wall of death, but ever since I started leaving these windows open, I never shut these during the day, which, yeah, it looks kind of crazy, but whatever. And it lets in so much light, so now everything on this wall just grows and grows and grows and grows. I need to put this guy back. I don't think he's ready to be watered yet. Do the same thing. This guy's dry. And you have to get really good about checking them every day, because if you don't check them every day, that's when your plants die. But it just gets easier the more plants you have, because then you're naturally checking them every single day. A thing about these is you do want to keep these more wet. You want to keep your propagations, the ones that you've just transplanted, these ones more moist because they need more water. Don't drown them, but just keep them pretty moist. But for all these normal pothos, I just wait till they're drier than this. This is my ficus tree. Can you believe that I already have a leaf? And I've literally had this guy for not long at all. And look at all these roots. This is seriously my favorite plant. I cannot wait till it starts to get huge. I'm so in love with it. This guy, remember this guy that I showed you in my last video and I told you that I murdered? Would you believe that there's a tiny little baby happening? As for all these, I'm just gonna check. Terracotta plant, or terracotta pots and smaller pots get dry really, really quick. I keep all my temperamental plants in the kitchen just because, yeah. Oh, my mom just got me this one. Let's look at this guy for a second. This is a new one I have. This is a, okay. This is a purple passion, and I don't know if you can really tell on the camera, but this plant is literally purple. It is the most gorgeous thing ever. If you move, the whole plant is purple. It looks green, but it's not. It's so beautiful. Are you getting burned? I can't stand you. This guy's kind of looking wilted, so I'm just going to take that as a sign as he needs water. That's not good. And the people who are good with plants can tell. Like, this one is so droopy. It usually stands straight up, so that means that it got way too thirsty, which is bad. And then all the rest of these guys are doing really well. These ones I water pretty much all the time. I can tell that this guy's thirsty just by looking at him. I'm just going to take and move these to where my watering plants are. I'm actually a server, so look at this skill. Holding 3 plants in one hand. We'll check on these guys. This is my Venus flytrap. He's actually doing super, super well. Look at all these little baby flytraps. I didn't like this plant at first, but as it turns out, I kind of love it. It's my son's little pepper plant. Little pepper plant that I'm growing. It has babies, so that's exciting.